Fantastic Adventures of Phibbi the Frog. Story by Eric E. Joyce. Illustration by Harry K. Himawan. Fantastic Adventures of Phibbi the Frog. Copyright 2010. All rights reserved. No part of Fantastic Adventures of Phibbi the Frog may be reproduced either mechanically or digitally, nay, any way, without written consent of the author. A special thank you to Harry K. Himawan for believing in this project from so far away. You're brilliant, to say the least. I dedicate Fantastic Adventures of Phibbi the Frog to his little angels and mine. I'm also very thankful to my wife who has supported me through the process of putting this book together. Sedai Kolagi Miri Piari. Phibbi the Frog leads a solitary life up in a tree in the woods. He keeps to himself for a chance to survive, not thinking of the things that he should. Things that he should think of, like getting along with other creatures he sees all around. Not just the birds in the trees singing songs, mostly animals living down on the ground. His beautiful colors of orange and blue usually keep all the bad ones away. He knew there was more than just squeaking through, so he thought he'd go exploring today. He hopped down the tree, landed right on a bug, the biggest one he'd ever seen. The bug didn't move, sat there looking smug, as if in this position he had been. He looked at the bug with a questioning gaze as the bug slowly looked round to see. Then he jumped off the bug and said to him, "Good day," and the bug made his way to the tree. He didn't know what in the world he should do, because this frog he thought enemy. He was told to stay clear so he wouldn't be food, but the frog looked at him pleasantly. "I will not eat you if that's what you're thinking," he said to the bug looking back. "Because I'm too big or because I am stinking? My defense against many attacks." "You are a stink bug?" he asked of the creature. "Can't you smell me?" he asked the frog back. "I don't smell all that well. I don't require that feature. I guess now it's a good one to lack. I came down from my tree today to explore and hopefully make a few friends." Then the bug told the frog to watch out for the roar, so today his life may not end. "I'm not scared of the lion. I'm too small to be meat. Besides, I don't taste good at all. There's a poison through my skin I secrete. If he eats me, he surely will fall." So the frog started off on his journey abroad, and he wondered who else he would meet. By the wide open forest he was certainly awed. Then, just behind him, came a tweet. He jumped to a rock and turned quickly around. With fear all over his face, he sat on the rock making hardly a sound, but of a bird there wasn't a trace. Then right over his head he heard it again. Without thinking, his tongue blasted out. It stuck to the beak of the bird like a chain, and the bird tumbled down to the ground. "Hey, what's the idea?" asked the bird of the frog. "I mean you no harm, you must know. I was minding my business and singing a song when you delivered that heart-wrenching blow. You startled me and I didn't know what to expect. When behind me, then above me, I heard you. My tongue came out before I checked. I didn't know what you would do. You see, I can sing too, by puffing my face and squishing out all of the air. You'd be scared too had you been in my place, so your anger I don't think is fair. I've just this morning come out to explore, not sure how this day's going to end. I was sitting alone in my tree being bored. I wonder, will you be my friend?" "I am honored and accept your friendship request, if you will kindly keep your tongue in your mouth." A frog and a bird being friends, who'd have guessed? Phibbi Frog and the bird headed south. In just a short time, a fox behind a tree looked around at the odd-looking sight. Of this wonderful luck he couldn't believe, lunch and dinner without any fight. He knew for this feast he had to take care so he wouldn't scare them apart. He ran up ahead so they wouldn't beware. He knew he wasn't the only one smart. He knew of a place he could lay down and wait, just a couple of miles up the trail. He was thinking of things that he could use for bait. He was sly, and was sure he'd not fail. Now back to the pair in the midst of the woods. It was just a few steps till they saw a squirrel by a tree was gathering his goods. He had all he could pack in his jaw. Now the bird and the frog didn't cause Squirrel alarm. He would hardly even look up. There surely wasn't any chance of harm, so he really shouldn't act like a grump. So the squirrel scampered close with a friendly appeal and a light-hearted, "How are you today?" Phibbi the frog, surprised by his zeal, asked him, "Have you come over to play?" "I came down today from my home in the tree in hope of finding some friends. First a bug, then a bird, and you would make three. What a truly wonderful blend." "I will be your friend. It is truly my pleasure. I can jump and climb the trees too. Though I really don't have much time for leisure, it would be great to have a friend like you." So when all was agreed, a new friend was acquired, and the frog jumped away down the path. He started to wonder how many friends he desired, and knew now that he'd have to use math. The bug number 1 and the bird second place, the squirrel would make number 3. Just 2 friends more and he'd have it made. He'd have a friend 5 days of the week. The weekend he had used to rest up from his play and schedule his friends for next week. He was sure he could find 2 more friends today. He looked down as he jumped across a creek. He looked down at the creek, saw a fish swimming by. He almost stopped in midair. Phibbi Frog wasn't letting this chance fly. Fell to the ground, but was no worse for wear. He hopped in the water as the fish swam back through. Phibbi flipped at the fun he was having. The fish loved his colors of orange and blue, and Phibbi knew this fish he was adding. With all of this done, and just one more needed, the friends he hoped to attain, out of the water fabulous Phibbi proceeded, back onto the trail once again. He was hopping along and he came to a tree. He was tired as the sun started setting. Fantastic to see, colors blue and bright green. Another frog. Friend 5 he was betting. He couldn't believe his incredible luck as he recounted the 5 that he met. The bird and the squirrel and the fish and the bug. But the frog he would never forget. Her colors, blue and green, had him mesmerized. There was nothing else he could think. For sitting and staring, he apologized, and he was certain that he saw her wink. He asked if she would be his best friend forever, and it looked like her colors got bright. She told him that she would for sure leave him never. In his love she would always delight. He started to jump up the tree to be with her, but he felt something slam into his back. He looked round to see the sly fox in a blur, and knew this was some sort of attack. The life in him now was slipping away. His last breath, he smelled something stinking. He noticed the bug, the first friend that he made. Then the fox, he felt away from him shrinking. Phibbi the frog believed this too little too late. Then he saw his friend squirrel moving fast. The squirrel hit the fox at full speed in the face, and his second friend bird came in last. Now Phibbi the frog was finally loose, but the sly fox was still in the woods. There was no reason for all this abuse, for Fox knew Phibbi couldn't taste good. As the friends of the frog planned attack number 2, the fox suddenly changed plans for his meal. He asked the frog if he could be his friend too. For the fox, it was a wheel of a deal. "You want to be friends without sorry being said for the hurt that you've caused here today?" "I beg your forgiveness," the little fox pled. "From now on none of you will be prey." So our fabulous friend called Phibbi the frog jumped up to the tree and announced, "The fox is our friend. We grant forgiveness for wrong." Then up to his new friend he bounced. Now the bug and the bird and the fox and the squirrel danced round the frogs in the tree. Thus ended the story of boy getting girl, when he was just on a friend getting spree. Phantastic Adventures of Phibbi the Frog is a wonderful, heartwarming story about a little frog who is tired of being so scared of everything that he has no friends at all. he decides one day to venture out and see how many friends he can find. As he travels through the woods, he finds such a variety of friends and can't believe his fortune. What lies in store for him, though, you will not believe. You'll love reading this, dear child, as I have mine again and again. Careful, or you'll be hooked as well. Masterfully illustrated by Harry K. Himmelwand, these characters will mesmerize you. For more, visit Eric's website, www.ericejoyce.com. Look for links to Mr. Himmelwand's sites from there.